and published my first children's picture book within a year of becoming a mum. And one of the things I realised after becoming a mum is that I'd started going through an identity shift, and I wasn't aware of the identity shift and sense of identity loss after motherhood. And after I realised that I was going through this change, I started to think about what I wanted to do and how to find my identity outside of motherhood, as I used to tie my sense of ambition to work, my career, and always doing the next thing for growing personally and mainly professionally, doing courses and focusing on my career. And then when I was going through this identity shift, I realised that for a lot of time I hadn't been really following my intuition with things, and I used to do things that I thought I had to do or should do, but I really wasn't that connected to what was important to me and my values. And on my journey through the beginning of motherhood, I started realizing more and more that the things that I used to want in life had changed and my life looked different, and I wanted to realize who I was becoming and what was important to me, which led me to writing a picture book called Slow Down Maya, my first book. And on this journey, this became my new passion and interest. And I realised that the ambition that I had before motherhood, and then it had become hidden, and it wasn't as clear, and I didn't think as much about my ambition at the beginning of motherhood. But when I had the spark of inspiration to write my book, that my ambition, I realised it was still there. And I wanted to share this with you, because if you're a mum who used to tie your identity and your sense of self to your career, and you're going through a feeling of losing yourself or not knowing who you are anymore after motherhood, I want you to know that you can find yourself again, and whatever is in you from before, it might have changed or look different now, but that sense of motivation and inspiration can still come in different ways, different moments throughout your day-to-day life, either while you're doing your mum duties or outside of motherhood. And if you're someone who wants to find out more ways about finding yourself again as a mum and who you are beyond motherhood, I've got one-to-one spots open, which are 60-minute Telegram sessions where we'll work together to create some action steps for what you'd like to do and who you're becoming after motherhood. Just send me a message to find out more about these.